Hello. Okay, finally, I had to start this all over, you guys, because the sound just was like not there. Um, so glad one of the viewers let me know. All right, so the purpose of this video is to review the Tasha K interview we did with concerning Ellen Gifton, my sister, Shawanda Terry, and Joraine Terry. $50,000 because they were in need. And so we went on Tasha K to speak out. And specifically, I wanted to speak out because, I have been just ignoring little stuff that she's been doing and saying, and all the nasty stuff that she did to play her part with, CPS and stuff when all of this popped off. Because I understand she has problems. She has, problems up here. So, you just have to ignore people. And but when she took the kids on the television show like that, it infuriated me because my kids are minors, and kids can't um, consent to whether or not even though they may feel that, and I do feel like because of my kids know that they have parents, mom and dad who loves them, they I'm sure that they feel, I'm very confident as their mom, that they wouldn't want their friends in school to know that they're in some sort of foster care situation. If I was in the ninth grade and I that was my situation, I probably would not want to be on national television where, my friends could possibly find out, and because we all know that kids they bully each other. And that's something that, even when I was coming up in school, I seen some kids bullied because of those things, and it just infuriated me. And this is why I felt the need to speak out and say, hey, this is enough, because it's a blatant disregard for the children involved to bring them on a national television show like that, embarrassing them where everybody, all their friends and stuff could see them on TV, then they go to school, and then, hey, that turns into bullying or whatever, and, because they're minors, you should be able to, they should be respected as well and say, hey, even though this situation is going on, you know, I'm going to be respectful of these kids because they may not want their friends to know that. So, to know this situation here that they're in. And so, as their mom who loves them, who birthed them in this world, and have made, big sacrifices, like with my own life, to be like a present mom, at home mom, a hands-on mother. It just infuriated me. I've since calmed down, with lots of counsel, from my husband, who is a great supporter. And, I've gotten to the place where I realized that, you know, um, really, this shows really how, um, really, I feel like just really how bad off she is, emotionally, you know. And, you know, I just think it's very deceptive to go and beg Ellen for $50,000, as well. I think that that's deceptive within itself. When if you've got 7 kids, you're getting $7,000 a month, plus your husband works, plus you're still working. That's what they claim on the show. So a family like that is not really in need. Okay. And furthermore, when the state gives you these children, do you see how much they're paying? Like they're gonna pay you enough and give you other subsidies, to make sure that you don't need any help with those children. Okay. So this is like things that a lot of people don't think about, but they should when they see these type of stories, these people don't need help. Okay. And the third thing I want to elaborate on, for us, like in the interview, there were, hold on, let's see. I want to clear up. A lot of people had like, you know, questions about, whether or not we had, a counsel or something like that, like an attorney or whatever, why we haven't had an attorney for 6 years or whatever, some question that was posed. We had an attorney when this first started off, and he was very ineffective assistance assistance of counsel, and he pretty much just told us, well, just do what DHR says. That's what I recommend. Just do what they say. Just do what they say. He didn't file anything on our behalf. He didn't try to ask us what our side of the story was. He didn't try to get any other information from us. He didn't ask us anything. Um, he didn't try to give us any information that could help us understand what was going on. Because oftentimes when this happens, and you know the sheriffs run up on you and just take your kids, and then you're thrown in a sham proceeding. It's not a legal proceeding; it's a sham one. Um, you're often confused. And so he didn't try to do anything to help us out. So definitely, that's when we decided to move the pro se litigant route. And if you do your research and your own, digging into how the courts operate, you'll find out that, well, if you don't have the money for an attorney, you can do things yourself. And I just think that any mom and dad that's fighting for their kids, that's what they would do. And that's what we've been doing. It's a shame that we're here at this point because we've been filing things. Um, we file paperwork and it gets ignored. Especially important things like a declaratory judgment serves to help you understand what your rights are with regards to a certain situation that you're encountering with someone else. If it's a dispute, you can go to the courts and file a declaratory judgment and have them declare your rights with regards to what's going on. And that clears up the situation, um, makes it go away. It's a final judgment. And so, because they can't really legally deny it, they just let it sit there, and only the courts can really answer that, why they have treated us this way. And I do tell you this, that American citizens, we don't pay our federal or state taxes for our court systems to run that way. You shouldn't have to have an attorney to move paperwork through a court system that you pay for as an American citizen. The end, you know? And that's what the truth is. And but this is what our family, this is what me and Damien have been going through. We've been fighting on our own, day in, day in and day out, long nights, up writing legal petitions, motions, and things of that sort. Just reading case laws, trying to understand what happened to us, and just to file that stuff, and then it just sits there, you know. So, me personally, I'm kind of just at my wits' end. Um, and I'm discouraged because I just feel like nothing like operates the way I thought that it did. And, you know, it's very disappointing when you come to a family that has worked hard and paid taxes, and, you can't even get a simple motion reviewed, or a petition like a declaratory judgment reviewed unbiasedly, and it declared so that you can resolve a situation and go home with your children. Like, it shouldn't come to having to raise money, from um, the public just to get a legal defender to do what you've already really did. But if that's what it takes, I'm at that point that I feel like if that's what it takes, that's what we need to do. If that's what they want and they don't want to do it for you as a pro se litigant, then it's okay. We'll do that. That's fine. I just want my children back. My children are illegally in their system. The adoption was illegal because the removal was illegal. The sheriff had no grounds to come in my house and remove my children at all. To come into anyone's home, your local sheriff or police department has to have a warrant to be there. If they want to come pick some kids up, get a pencil, or search something, whatever they're there to do. If they're there legally without any type of ill will or malicious intent, to usurp your rights or whatever, they shouldn't have any problem because more than likely, just like the law says, someone's gonna come in and swear that, which is the probable cause that they will have. Someone's gonna come in and swear that, hey, these children, are being sexually molested. The daughter told me, or someone's on the brink of death over there, or someone's dead or about to die. They will have that affidavit. They will go before a judge. He's going to sign off on the warrant, give it to the sheriff, and then they're going to do what they've got to do. They don't have to ask you to come in when you're doing criminal things. That makes sense. This is how things are laid out here. I don't understand how some people, we see some people in the comments like they just don't understand. Like, what is, like, you don't be confused about the fact that you have rights. You have rights. These people in the public have to respect your rights. They have to respect the fact that your home is your castle, it's your sanctuary, it's the place that you dwell, it's the place that you go to be at peace and feel safe. Now, if you're living among people who feel like they could just come in your house when they're in the mood to, you're not going to feel very safe there. And that's what I don't feel safe in my house. Period. Because I don't have, in my opinion, I don't have, when I look at the police powers here in my local area, I don't feel like we have that protective energy and respectful energy coming from them at all. And so, a good example of what I'm talking about is if you look at the New York and Cuomo situation where he was trying to regulate how many people in New York could have, he was trying to regulate how many people could come into each person's home for Thanksgiving. And the sheriff stood up and said, "Look, we're not doing that. You know, Americans have rights. I don't have, I can't just go in people's homes. I have to have a reason to, to go in there and invade their privacy. But you know, that was refreshing to see because it really showed me that wow, so really it just depends on a person's character. You know, a person gets elected to be sheriff, it's not guaranteed that they're going to do what you elected them to do. That is not guaranteed. That depends on that person's character and whether they actually do intend on protecting your rights according to what the Constitution says. And if someone doesn't put a warrant in their hand, they have no business coming in there to get any children and remove them anywhere. And because the removal was illegal, nothing in a termination of parental rights or adoptive proceeding was legal at all either. So, the kids are right now illegally in the custody of the Terrys, and that's an illegal adoption. It's not a legal one. And also, to expand on a question that was posed about, well, how you guys know it's a sister, blah, blah. I mean, the CPS workers told on her. I mean, Keldon Jones told me to my face that she got the information that we were homeschooling from Shawanda and was advocating and saying very really like demeaning things, to try to solidify, oh yeah, they need to be removed, and oh this and that. Like, You don't sit there and advocate and give these people information about what you think is going on in someone's home, so that they can have their kids removed so you can line your pockets. Like, and then go on the Ellen show and pretend like it's all brand new. You just got a call that they were placed in emergency shelter care, and you swooped in and did what you had to do. You didn't tell that lady that you gave CPS, Shawanda. You didn't tell them that you gave CPS the information that we were homeschooling. You didn't tell them that you stood up and told them, well, I don't want them to go. They shouldn't go. I don't think they should go back home, and things of that. So all because that you and I have beef and have had it for years. And so, you know, my thing is, feel whatever way you want to about me, but you don't drag my children on national television and they're in public school with all these other kids where they could potentially get bullied because people might know or see their situation or hear about it, and then you're not there to deal with that. That's something they have to deal with, and that's their mom. This is why I'm speaking out against you and Wayne going on that lady show, acting like, and Wayne, here you go, talking about, oh, all I know when I got home, I had 7 kids. So you just don't know nothing about Shawanda's role she played. You don't know none of the nasty stuff she was saying and doing with DHR to amp this situation up and make things worse for us. You don't know nothing about the fact she stopped us from seeing the kids and all of that, you know, because she just wanted to really um, isolate the kids from us. Like, you don't know none of that. You just brand new over there, huh? Okay. Y'all didn't know. You didn't talk. Neither one of y'all talked to CPS 2 weeks before all of this popped off on the phone. Yeah, Keldon told me. So did Stephanie too. So, like, they already told on y'all. So plus we're gonna get the information to solidify what we're saying. Because they can't just say, oh, well, we're not gonna tell you. We're not gonna tell you who told you. Like, they can't do that. They can't do that. They can't not tell you who made a report on you. That wouldn't be fair to your right. Because what if someone like y'all over there who was broke at the time, needed some help, had a tax lien on y'all house, had marital problems and stuff like that? What stops someone like y'all in the community who don't have sense enough to mind your business and work hard like everybody else and see about your own family and stay out of other people's business and do what you got to do to support your own lifestyle? If you living outside your means, that's y'all problem. Don't try to come over here and break our family up because y'all want checks and want to live and stunt on people and stuff. So people can be looking at Shawan and Wayne, look what they got. This and that. Y'all been on that tip. We see people that watching the show and all this know that y'all they don't know that about y'all. So we that's what we not gonna do. We not about to do that. We not about to get on national TV and act brand new and think me and Damien gonna sit over here and not say nothing and confront y'all and rat y'all out to everybody. That we not gonna do. And then furthermore, y'all talking about, oh, oh, I know when I got home I had 7 kids. Oh, they called us, told us the kids was in emergency shelter care, and we got to do the step in. That's a lie, and I'm not gonna curse because it just makes me mad because y'all know it's a lie, and you scam that lady. You scam that lady. You scam Hyundai, whoever gave y'all the car, and you misrepresented yourselves to all Ellen viewers too. Because at the end of the day, both of y'all know that's a lie. Y'all couldn't even get the kids to come to y'all house when this first popped off. They were down my dad's house. Why? Why? Y'all had y'all own domestic violence and child abuse case open on the public record. The reason why they wouldn't let the kids come there the first couple of months, they were down my dad's house. So they didn't just get in shelter care and then, oh, you swooped in and did what you had to do. No, because you gave Ellen the information that she needed. I mean, she did because you gave CPS the information they needed about homeschooling, and they seen it when they talked to you that you had some type of malicious whatever, and we didn't have a relationship. Because look, y'all, this for y'all the viewers. Whenever like they talking to y'all family members, they're gonna want to partner with whatever family member they feel like, you know, really don't like you that much. And that's who they're gonna want to put the kids with too. Especially if their intent is to keep them in the system, they're gonna partner with that person. And everybody else that seem like they might be an advocate for you, but they can't really case it, they're gonna alienate them, because that's what they did to my mom. They're gonna alienate them, not really talk to them, you know, and they're not gonna try to advocate to have the kids put with them. Period. Okay, they need to talk to someone. They need to partner with someone who's against you. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. So you know that you actually gave DHR the information about, oh, they're over there homeschooling. I don't think they should be homeschooling because that's what Keldon said you said. So even though she's saying, oh, we can't tell you, she really already told it. But we'll get to the bottom of it. It's coming. We're going to get to the bottom of what the tip was or who made the report, because legally they have to give it to you. Okay? But that's neither here or there. The point is you went on Ellen trying to act like, oh, you just found out the kids were put in emergency shelter care. You didn't know nothing about nothing else, like as if you didn't play any part when you know you were the person who made the report. You were the person who had malicious intent with whatever was going on. That was you. And what DHR did was, you guys went and did something, which I looked it up. You probably did a petition to the court to have that domestic violence dispute you and Wayne had on the public record removed, and the child abuse report you made on him for throwing your little baby on the bed. Y'all had that removed so that the kids could come to your house, because you were doing everything they were doing everything they could with you, because they knew that you were not an advocate for us. They knew you were an enemy of ours. So that played right up in their alley. Okay? So y'all got with DHR and removed that from the public record so that the kids could come there. So it wasn't just abruptly y'all just got the kids, you know, when they were put in emergency shelter care in Wayne. Oh, you just all of a sudden you got home one day and you had 7 kids. Y'all was doing all of that, you know, for I think it was 2 months before they were even able to come up to y'all house, because y'all had y'all own domestic violence and child abuse reports on the public record that Shawanda made against you, Wayne, for throwing your baby on the bed because y'all was having a dispute. And legally, they weren't even supposed, even though y'all had it removed, the kids weren't even supposed to even ever be over there with some people like y'all, because you're gonna take them out of a home with no domestic violence like that or child abuse going on and put them with 2 people with domestic violence issues and abuse issues going on in their own home. But now y'all wanted to line y'all pockets, and y'all done went right on Ellen's show scamming that lady out of $50,000, acting like y'all need some help. And Shawanda, you ought to know better, because first of all, mama and daddy wouldn't have either one of us around here where we need to ask anybody for anything. Like, that's what it is. That's the truth. And Wayne, you ought to be out. If I didn't love your mom, I would drag your ass right here, right now on this live. I would drag your ass and your whole family. But see, I'm not gonna hold your brothers and sisters and your mom, you know, accountable for some scammy, low down, dirty shit that you're doing. Excuse me, y'all, to support your crazy wife over there. Because Shawanda knows, and I know, and your brothers and sisters know, and your mom and your dad know, and my mom and dad know, like the difference between our upbringing. Me and Shawanda never had to lack for anything. We always had the best of everything. So quite naturally, if it was so bad and we were over here, and people that know our parents can um can actually vouch for this information I'm about to put out right here. Especially people who know my mom, especially people who know my dad. They know that if let's just say if me and Damien were over here and the kids we just was so poor and so bad off, like, oh, like, my dad would never have it be said that I was up here with his grandkids and I couldn't call him and ask him for some food or some money to help me get by without getting in a situation like DHR. Like, no, my mama either. So all this faking and flogging and Shawanda running around all on TV, trying to get some clout or whatever attention. What, I don't know what's wrong with you, but you better go sit down and don't stop dragging my children on national TV, embarrassing them like that. Like, and you're gonna say something, oh, they were put in emergency shelter care. No, they were not. Because if it was such an emergency, the first day that Kaden came to my house, she would have been back here within, I think that the law says within 72 hours for some emergency shit, which is criminal stuff going on with a child. It was 2 weeks before she made the petition after she left here the first time. So if it was the emergency, why she would wait 2 weeks before there's even any type of court hearing, period? Like, so stop lying. They were not put in emergency shelter care. And if they do call it that, then they shouldn't call it that for reasons, you know, the fact that there was no criminal stuff going on. So why would you call that emergency shelter care? Like, it was 2 weeks before she filed the petition to the court. After she came here, when I told her, I said, well, no, ma'am, you're not going to come in here. You don't have a warrant. Why are you trying to come in and question me about my children? Well, we heard the kids aren't in school. Where she heard that from, Shawanda? Where she heard it from? Who gave her the information? She left all that out on Ellen. You didn't tell Ellen. You gave them the information that they needed to come over here. So, like I said, y'all, when she came here, I told her, I said, well, oh, no, ma'am. You're not coming in my house. What you trying to quit? I said, my kids are in school. They're homeschooled. What's the issue? Well, we heard they're not enrolled in school. I said, okay, well, they're not enrolled in public school, but they're in school. Well, we need to come in and talk with them. I told her, no, you're not coming here. I said, now you can go get your warrant or whatever. Then you can come in here. But you're not coming in my house. She waited 2 weeks after that before she filed a petition. So how's some kids in emergency shelter care, if that's the case? If it's an emergency, why would you wait 2 weeks to go to the court to try to remove the kids to come in here? So that's a lie that you told on Ellen. So we're just gonna clear the lies up because like I said, we were under time constraints on the. Hold on, somebody said, have you gotten a lawyer to help you? We've had people reach out, like, you know, we about to see what's popping. It's been crazy since the interview, aired. So it's a lot of great things happening. So we'll see. But back to the story, like I was saying, Aunt Ellen, we didn't have a lot of time to elaborate on things that happen and stuff. So it's like these people only have, they have very strict grounds upon which they remove a child. So it's not a, oh well, their clothes weren't fitting. And first of all, when they picked my kids up, my kids had been playing outside and had play clothes on. So y'all can just imagine, like, okay, so how many of y'all let y'all kids play in their polo, Carters, Oshkosh, and Jordans and stuff, shoes and clothes? So y'all let y'all kids go outside and play, or y'all let them play in their old clothes that's kind of like you don't care about them getting messed up, because that's what they were doing before everybody just abruptly came. So of course, yeah, the clothes they had on didn't look, but they were play clothes. But anyway, I just want to care that I don't care what nobody think, but I'm just saying, like, that's what it is. It's like people like say that stuff, and it's like y'all really don't understand the law. It's when you say that, you sound so ignorant, because if you understood the law and you understood how stuff works, like, that, well, that's not no grounds for somebody to take your kids because they don't like how the kids the clothes your kids got on, or they don't like how their hair fixed, or their hair ain't done when they see them. Like, that's not no grounds for nobody to take your kids. Well, maybe grounds for somebody to gossip or talk about you. So, well, who cares about that? But that's not supposed to progress to, oh, you doing some petition and proceeding in some dependency action to take somebody's kids. Like, if somebody's doing that, they're doing illegal stuff. They're doing unlawful stuff. They're doing stupid stuff. That's not supposed to be like that. That doesn't work like that. This is America. And like my husband like to say, this is not China. We're not in China. No, no, whatever against China, but I'm just saying, like, in America, we have liberties, we have freedom, we enjoy the freedoms of our freedom. So, that's just what it is, and you might have a lot of ignorant CPS people, even an ignorant sheriff, who don't understand that or who don't care about those things. So then you're going to guess what? You're going to get our situation, because not all sheriffs and not all CPS employees are negligent and incompetent or disrespectful. Not all of them, just some. It's a character thing, you know. But it is a slap in your face as a tax-paying citizen and as a voter for you to vote a sheriff in and say, hey, you take this guy takes an oath to the Constitution. He's going to protect our rights. He's going to make sure that, the public officials, they do what they're supposed to do and they don't intrude over here, in the private on us. He's like the barrier. So, like, if you got out of control sheriff, you know, it's just gonna be mayhem in your county on every level. That's just what it is. And that's my main thing. It's like, if you didn't have the grounds legally, the legal grounds to remove a child, then the removal was illegal. How is an adoption legal if that's the case? Everything you do after that is unlawful and illegal and has no standing in law. They might be over there with another family, but they're not supposed to be according to the law, because everything they did to our family is not supported by Alabama law. The law, as the legislature has written it, doesn't support anything that Heath Taylor, the sheriff department, did to my family. Doesn't support anything CPS did. Doesn't support the judge sitting over there, on a separate council, you know, with CPS and the sheriff all gathered together discussing stuff about grants and children and stuff in the county, and then that same person putting on, a black robe and come adjudicate a proceeding in which DHR is petitioning. Like, no, we all know that how that's gonna go. That's not gonna go well at all. At all. So, I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. But definitely, people, y'all all in these comments going ham. Like, y'all need to chill out. Like, you better stay focused on the point, which is, nobody's supposed to come in your house without a warrant. Period. And DHR can't bring you to court and sue you about your kids in no dependency action because they're not even defined in the statute as a person withstanding to sue you. Why? Because DHR works under the court referral program with the courts, in partnership with the courts. They like provide services to the court. That's why private citizens go make dependency petitions and complaints about, you know, kids or whatever. The intake officer then can refer the case to DHR for investigation. It says the law says nothing about DHR being able to come over here and file a petition in a dependency action and try to sue you out for your kids. They don't have standing to sue because their job and role with regards to the courts is just to provide services and like the investigative services, when a case is referred to them. They can't be a plaintiff. And and if you got common sense, you would know how that's a conflict of interest anyway. Because okay, what stops a person who's providing the services from just making crazy complaints all the time just so they can get more money out of the courts for the services they provide from the claims? So, like, no, y'all know that doesn't make sense. Y'all, like, they don't have standing to sue. And if it's some criminal stuff that's going on, your child needs to be removed. Like, and they refer that, and the investigation goes on. They get someone to go to the court and swear out that, hey, I know these kids are being molested. Somebody over there half dead. We need to go in that house and get those kids and save them. Yeah, the investigator or your district attorney, the investigator, which would be DHR them because they do the investigations, they can go do a protection order, a petition for protection, not no dependency, and try to get the protection for the child that they need. And in that situation, they're going to have it. They don't need to ask you to come in your house then because now you over here doing some crazy stuff to your kids. And they need to be removed from you so everybody can make sure that the child is safe and away from whatever abuse or torture that's going on in the home. It's a great organization. They just need to run it right. Run it right. Run it the way we pay y'all to run it. Run it the way we pay for it to run. American citizens, we pay for these public services through our taxes. So, if you're a tax-paying citizen, you're living in Alabama, this is how they're running the show with your tax dollars, but not the way the law tell them to. And so we got to get that cleaned up, because with all these people that's reaching out and telling us about their situations and people that said they already been through and their situation was horrible, like that's a shame because a part of me wants to believe, well, now they just did this to our family. Like there's no way they just doing this. Like there's no way, but yes, they are. And then the CPS workers don't have sense enough to say, okay, well, you know, let me just not be cocky and crazy and say crazy stuff. They just tell on themselves. You don't tell someone we do what we want to do. Like you don't talk to people who you remove their children and stuff and talk to them that way. Like that's so unprofessional. Anyway, so having a job is about being professional as well. If you're gonna say that you're an educated person, you know what I'm saying, and you got professionalism, you definitely don't want to, like, those are things you wouldn't say out of your mouth, but this is what was said to us. Okay, so I just wanted to get on here and address some of those things because I didn't get to elaborate a lot in the interview with Tasha K, because when you're doing those interviews and stuff, you're on those people's time. You don't get to really, you really just have to answer the questions that they're asking you, and kind of, you know, go with it, you know. Um, but I mean, that's neither here or there. But that's what our channel is for. And now we're in the mode. We're just gonna go ahead and put this out here to clear up, what was aired on the Ellen show, letting her know and her staff know that these people scammed us, was not no, they didn't know what was going on, and they just abruptly got some kids put on them. They had their own domestic violence and child abuse situations going on. The kids couldn't even come over there the first couple of months because of that. And they should have never been placed with them. And no other child should be placed with them right now. You don't go help people like that remove something from the public record just so you can place kids in their care. Like, no. The whole point is to not put kids in a situation where they're subject to that type of environment. So obviously, DHR also doesn't care about keeping kids from abuse, really, because why would you put them with these people? And like I said, they had it removed because Keldon, once again, she told me that, well, we're working trying to have this removed because right now, technically, they can't go over there. Like, yeah, because they got their own domestic violence and child abuse situations going on that maybe they should have been investigating them. Okay. But hey, you know, it is what it is. All I know is, you know, the Ellen show just like took me to another level because my kids were dragged all out there on national TV. And they go to public school with friends and they have friends, I'm sure. And I just don't think that is the right thing to do if you're really concerned about the welfare and mental health of a child. He said, well, I just wouldn't do that. I just would have been like, nah, because these kids may not even want somebody to know, like, they're in an adoptive situation. And Shawanda is also well aware that we weren't doing anything to those kids. Now, if she was too dumb to not know that homeschooling your kids isn't grounds for removal of a child, then that's also her bad. That's what you get, because now you look stupid. That's what you get for trying to run your mouth and stick your nose in something and try to make yourself look so smart, like you're so put together, but you're really stupid and you're dumb because you don't even understand the law. You don't even understand that those are not grounds for removal of a child. If they're being homeschooled, how is it educational neglect? And then another thing people like to say, someone actually said this under the comments and stuff. Oh well, y'all was alienating them. Like, girl, bye. Like, first of all, everybody that know me and my husband in this county right here know that my kids have always been active in little league and cheerleading and stuff since they were old enough to participate. Here it's 3 years old and up. And we were currently doing those things before they rudely interrupted our lives. My husband was a coach and I was a team mom. So we do this. They're, like, child, please. People have common sense. Who don't have common sense enough to know, well, okay, well, the kids are homeschooled. They're kind of at home a lot. They're not going to school every day seeing kids. So how do we give them another outlet, to have an outlet, to enjoy themselves and, have friends? Like, if you're a decent person with some common sense and a decent parent, you know full well not to have them in homeschool and then not have them some sort of social outlet. Who's that dumb? Like, you should know better. And if you're not doing that, then, something wrong with you. But social isolation, that's still not no grounds. Unless you're going somewhere locking the child up in a room or in a chicken coop somewhere and they can't go out, chaining them to a bed. Like, I mean, Some of y'all socially isolate yourselves and your kids anyway. Y'all go to work, go home, pick the kids up from school, and then that's it. Like outside of school, your kids, some of y'all kids don't have, no social outlet. If it weren't for school, they wouldn't have a social outlet. Some of y'all. So, and I could say, in my opinion, that ain't good because, okay, yeah, they go to school, but a lot of times in school, you're not, the only time they really get to play with their friends is like during like recess or something like that, or PE or something, you know? Like, you really ain't doing a lot of mingle when you in school. You sitting in your desk doing work all day. And then that little time you have for recess. Like, so still, I feel like even if your kids go to public school, you should still like have a balance where like they're getting like another social outlet like Little League right there in your own county. Little League is a beautiful organization, the Little League sports. And if your kid doesn't do the football and basketball and stuff like that, maybe find something else for them to do. Maybe gymnastics or something like that. But they need another outlet outside of just public school too. Like public school is not enough. They need friends. So no, that was none of that going on. So y'all could stop trying to reach and stuff like that, because DHR wrote a lot of stuff trying to reach because didn't let her in my life. I didn't let her in my house. I didn't talk to her and tell her none of my private business. I didn't ask her, let me come in her house. I didn't ask her about her children or if she had any or whoop, whoop, whoop. Like, she don't have nothing to do with me. I don't have nothing to do with her. Like, it is what it is. So, I mean, so when they can't get anything, they're going to reach and make things up. That's just what they do. I mean, we've read case laws where they've actually taken a child. These people, this is like was like their first child, and um, they took those people kids because they said the caseworker said that she felt like the mom and dad were slow. So, like, how do we get to this point where we're just letting caseworkers say, well, in my opinion, the parents are slow, so I think they should go into foster care. Like, see, this happened in Alabama. Like, this is an example of this is what's going on. This is what's happening. And then when you get into the law and how it's written, it does not support them doing that. It does not support them just making up their opinion on, what they think is going on, and the kids should get removed for further evaluation. Like, no, like if nobody's dead, almost dead, or in some dire emergency situation, nobody have no business coming over here asking to come in anybody's house, and let alone putting your hand on anybody's children. And if anybody who support this, then maybe y'all in the wrong country, because everybody who's American, no, that ain't this. That doesn't work like that. It doesn't work that way. May not like it, but you're not supposed to do things that are unlawful. Hence why, as citizens, if we do stuff that breaks the law, we go to jail. But how is it that because someone works in the public, because they're a police officer, a sheriff, or a CPS worker, why do they get to break the law and not follow the law and don't have to go to jail or not get in trouble or reprimanded? Yeah, a lot of all these people were fired, have been fired since, that dealt with us for whatever reason. Who knows? Yeah, they've been fired, but still, the damage is still done. We're still fighting in court. Like, how hard is it if we file a declaratory judgment, and if it's any attorneys that understand what a declaratory judgment is and its function, like what it does and how it can end the situation. Maybe you guys can give us some insight as to, why someone would let a declaratory judgment just sit there and you're telling them that you're losing substantial rights like parental rights and familial association. I mean, it's not how the courts are supposed to run. If we file a declaratory judgment, rule on it, declare what the rights are with regards to what the conflict is. So everybody can have an establishment of who was right, who was wrong. But see, they know that that's going to end it. So, but these are the things that we've been doing. We appealed this all the way up to the Supreme Court in Alabama, and nothing. All because of the Children's Policy Council. And you can't have the judges sitting on that, and they're gonna protect each other, and that's what I feel is why, even when they got to the Alabama Supreme Court, they just denied the petition, but with no writing. So you're not gonna tell me why you denying it, but you're gonna deny it. Like that's real fair. But you know, I understand everybody wants to protect their homeboys. You know, in whatever wrong or position they played in something, and you know, it's unfortunate because we've been fighting since day one, and we've been in the legal battle about our kids since day one. So this hasn't been any type of well, we just been over here kicked up and just well, whatever, they took our kids, whatever. Like, no, we've been fighting by ourselves and having to stay afloat financially and things of that sort, and keep yourself from just breaking down emotionally from just the torture of being separated from children that you've carried and bared and raised and nursed, to health. Um, so, it's not the easiest thing, but the encouraging words and kind words from all the viewers and stuff from the interview. We really appreciate you guys. You just don't know how much it's helped us to just realize, like, wow, we didn't even want to do this, but wow, I'm glad we did, because look at all the things people are telling us, and you know um so we're happy to help. We're happy to be here to provide any type of encouragement or tips to people who are actively going through this, that may need someone to talk to, or help them understand what happened to them, or help them understand their own law within their state, and how it's written and how it applies to what they're supposed to do and stuff like that. We're here to help and share our own experience and the things that we've learned. It's not legal advice. It's just, just tips and pointers, to help the situation, as it is, and, hopefully, get your kids back, because, we might go on, we're going to go on to get our kids back, but that doesn't stop it from happening to anyone else. And so the situation doesn't go away. Like I was saying on the Tasha K interview, like 85% of the kids in foster care are Black. Like, that's a problem. Okay, so that shows you right there, like, just in Alabama, we're not just like, and it just may even be a nationwide problem. I don't know. I haven't pulled the numbers, but I can speak for this state that I am in. And so if that's the case, it's just like, wow, this is another problem on top, another social issue that Black people have to deal with, the child welfare system, in addition to all the other stuff, you know, that we face sometimes because people, have a problem with how we look or whatever, you know. But also, I'm going to say this, I really do believe that they really don't care what color you are, really, too, because, like, just their policies and their practices, like, and we've had all type different race of people reach out to us. So, It's not just happening to black people, it's happening to everybody, but in Alabama, it seems with the numbers, 85% of the kids in foster care are black. It seems like it's happening to us more often, but we're not the only ones who are dealing with the situation. So definitely, you guys keep everybody in your prayers, keep our family in your prayers, and we're gonna continue to keep fighting. On the link below, we have a Cash App and a GoFundMe, and our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook pages are there. If you guys want to reach out and donate, we really need and appreciate any donations that you could give to help us with this legal fund so we can get our children back ASAP. Like, the more people give, um, and help us out in that regard, like, it's the better it's going to be for us, and the quicker it's going to be, because the legal team is going to have what they need to mobilize their team and do what they've got to do, and we can just stand here and just get our kids back and do what we've got to do and move on with our life before it was rudely interrupted. So um definitely, if you guys feel the need to compassionate enough to donate to us to help us with this cause so that we can get the legal representation that we need. It is greatly appreciated. We haven't had anyone ask us. Well, I'll take that at my mom. My mom did, but my mom's just one person. So, but other than that, we haven't had anyone ask us, well, hey, is there anything we can? I'm just saying in terms of family members, like, so we don't have a lot of support gathered around us to say, hey, what can we do to help? What can we do to help you guys move this along quicker? Because I know you guys miss your family, your kids, and you want your family back together, So, sometimes people you don't know are going to be more of, bigger advocates and support systems to you than even the people that, claim that they love you or quote unquote care about you. So, definitely everybody just asking what they can do to help and sending emails of encouragement, words of encouragement, and love and positive energy our way is very, very, very great. It's a very, very great thing to us, and we really appreciate it. And if you guys have any more questions or ideas about things y'all would like us to expound on, concerning our situation, we're open to it. All the trolls under the video, you guys just need to like really get a life, because grow a heart or something, because this is a very serious matter. It involves children who have been separated from their parents illegally, and they want to come home. Okay, so, and it's not just our situation, it's our situation is not the only situation. There's other people. So because there's potentially other people, who knows how many more people um, that are dealing with this situation. It's not a laughing matter. It's not a matter to come trolling and being mean and things. I mean, but you guys, you do what you want to do, because look, we don't care either way, because we already know that y'all don't know any better. Like, the fact that you're even saying those nasty things lets us know that you just don't know any better. So, we're not mad or anything. It's just try to take something away from the situation, and think of the big picture, and think of the other people there watching the interview and involved in the situation, because it's a very sensitive one. But thank God, the negative comments definitely don't outweigh the positive outpouring of love that we have received. And so I just want to let you guys that we know that we are forever thankful for just the love and the support, the outpouring of love and support that has been given, and keep it coming our way, because it's very encouraging, and it's very refreshing, because it's kind of something we haven't had since all of this happened. And we've kind of had to kind of encourage each other, and work through our own um, just sadness and grief about it together. And but it's refreshing to have other people come in, and all the love that has poured in. It's we're forever grateful. And now we're going to be making more lives, and more informational videos to help out when we can, because we're still, in the midst of doing court petitions and things that sort just on our own, just trying to do what we can, but when we do get some time to take out to respond to comments under the interview, or come over here and make a live or informational video to help out people who are reaching out for help, and you know um, telling us their story and things of that sort, we're definitely going to make that time to do that. And if you guys have any questions or concerns about how to donate, or what you can do to help, our email address is down on the link below, and the Cash App is down there. You can donate whenever you want to. All of that stuff is going to go to the legal fund, because it takes money to do things, in the legal world. And we want people who do come in to help us. We want them to get paid and be compensated for their time and headache of dealing with it. So we also seen a couple attorneys come under the interview on Tasha K and say something about how they won for their client, but it was like a vicious fight. And you're just asking yourself, like, it made me ask myself, why is she having a vicious fight? And she's an attorney. She shouldn't have to. It shouldn't have to be that way. Like, if everybody's following the law and doing what they're supposed to do, you know, it shouldn't be a vicious fight. You know, why is it a vicious fight? Like, that's this is not right. So that lets you know right there that even if we get an attorney, that's a red flag to me that it's still an uphill battle, possibly. I don't know, but we'll see. But um, this is it. I've been on here an hour. Really didn't intend to talk that long. I think I touched on everything that I thought about, um, that I wanted to talk to everyone about. But, like, I don't know. I might go in here and lay down and then think, oh, I should have said this or that. But hey, that's what the channel is here for. Feedback. You guys might write your comments and stuff below. If it's nasty and trollish, I'm just gonna delete it. So just don't even waste your time. But any words of encouragement, or any questions or suggestions for any information that you want us to go more into for the Tasha K interview that we did, that we didn't expound on, and you guys want to get more clarity, feel free. But just know that our kids are supposed to be here with us. They're not supposed to be anywhere else, because we weren't doing anything to them. They didn't have any type of emergency or threat to harm life or health or anything like that with any of our children when they removed them. So pretty much, if you have, like I said, to me, it's a police powers issue. I really think that your sheriffs and your police chiefs are supposed to respect your rights and not run up on you without proper warrants. Okay, because even in child care situations, you have to have a warrant to remove the child, and the pickup order. And a pickup order is not a warrant. So, and a judge can't just write an order and say just go pick them up. See, because okay, he can't just say go pick up a child. He can't say that. He has to have grounds to be telling the police powers to come invade your privacy and separate you from your child. Because parental separation is also a form of child abuse. So they've actually took my children away from me and subjected them to 6 years of just child abuse. Period. Like, so, and like I said, he can't just write an order, because they'll try that too. They try all type of stuff, especially if they know that you're dumb and you don't understand your rights. You don't know how the law works. Like, they're gonna try all type of stuff. Like, You can't just write a order and say, okay, well, we find that DHR can go in and get the kids. No, you have to have a warrant to go in somebody's house. And if you can't get the warrant, and you can't get, I'm sorry, if you can't get the probable cause to get the warrant, because the probable cause will be some sort of third party, unbiased person too, like just somebody with the information who firsthand knowledge too, like that they seen a child being molested or tortured or some crazy idiotic stuff happening to them, and they ran to the courts and told them. They're gonna get that affidavit and make them swear out on that and sign it. Okay, because that you're gonna be able to face your accuser. You're gonna be able to face the person who went and said you were doing something. Like, so if they can't get that, then they have to go sit down. You know, you may not like it. It may not help you get all the grant funding that you want to get, but that's what it is. Like, it's not supposed to go down like that. We don't pay our taxes and our local taxes. We don't pay our local taxes, our state taxes, and our federal taxes for the court system to just run whatever way the attorneys and the judges want it to. And I'm not trying to loop all the attorneys in anything either, because there are a lot of great attorneys out there. There are a lot of great judges out there. Not everybody's, you know, unethical. Some people have ethics. You know what I'm saying? They have real ethics. They have really good character. They have it in their personal life, and they take that on their job. So, you know, that's why we have to be careful about the people we elect in office and stuff, because some of these people got issues. Like, they don't have good ethics in their own personal life, private life. So they definitely don't have any business being the sheriff or your district judge or whatever, who's gonna determine lots of cases, or be coming in people's houses and executing warrants and stuff like that. Like, you can't do stuff if you can't be around here breaking the law, but like, you're holding our feet to the fire. Like, don't do that. Like, that's not what we pay our taxes for. That's not what we elected you for. So, you know, definitely just, getting back to the point of it all, which is, we just wouldn't be here if it wasn't for um, the police brutality side of it, and what I like to call legal violence. My last child, um, my fifth child that was born, um, Kaden, was removed. They came in here without a warrant. I had him like 2 years after this happened, after they took our other kids, and I had a water birth at home. My husband's a nurse, mind you. Okay, so once I come all on here with woo woo, oh, you having a baby is unsafe, this and that, like, excuse me, my husband is a nurse. So when you go to the hospital, when I would go to the hospital with all my other kids, I seen the doctor one time out of the whole 3 days I'll be there. Like, the nurses took care of me, and really all they did was bring me juice, check my blood pressure, bring me some food, ask me if I needed anything. That's all that happens if you're at home and you have a water birth. Like, you know how to breathe through contractions. You got somebody monitoring your blood pressure. Like, you're fine. Baby comes out breathing fine. Like, but yeah, you should have a nurse or somebody competent, medical professional there. But after that, you're just gonna lay in the bed and do what you're doing at the hospital. Bring you something, check your blood pressure, bring you something to eat, bring you some juice, you know, help you out the bed. Right? There's nothing special going on, unless you get short of breath and all that. And I'm not crazy. Like, I know, like, when I'm in labor, if I'm like not feeling right or whatever, I'm not gonna wait till like after the baby. Like, I'm gonna say, nah, you know what? I don't feel right. This feels different. Whatever. You may want to get me to the hospital. Like, I'm not gonna refuse that and put myself, my life, and my baby's life in danger. Like, So anyway, Miss Terry played a very important part in calling next door to my husband's brother. Is a baby over there? Is a baby over there? And the next thing I know, the next week CPS is at the door. So that's how they got Kaden. And I heard that she told my oldest daughter that's over there that I had the baby and left the baby at I think the fire station or gas station or some crazy shit. Like anybody that knows me knows I'll never leave my kids and never do anything that's sick and crazy. So anyway, the first thing they do is take him to the hospital. Now at that point, Caden's like 3 weeks old, so he's thriving good. He gets there, he has a little jaundice. They put him under the light, and that's it. Like, okay, all my kids have had all three of them. There's three other kids that I've had that had jaundice. Like, it's not that serious. Like, only when the levels are at crazy rates where there's a threat to that child's life. And I'll let my husband go into more details on that because he is a nurse and the medical professional competent enough to explain that to y'all. But I do know enough from when I was in the hospital with my other three. And then their bilirubin was like, they was elevated a little bit like Caden's was, but like it wasn't deadly. So even then they weren't like, oh, he's got to get go to NICU, he's got to get put under the light. Like it was none of that. It was, well, do you want him to go? We'll take him if you want him to go. Sort of like, well, if he win, it was okay. If he didn't, it was okay because the bilirubin wasn't high enough for there to be a heightened emergency or threat to harm for his life, like because sometimes it is, but in Caden's situation, it wasn't. So, but anyway, I neglected to talk about that on the interview, but I also want people to know that Mrs. Terry also played a part in having, you know, the child removed, having Kaden removed 3 weeks after he was born, because she kept calling next door to see, like, how would they know? Because we didn't even fool with them. I would didn't even hardly go out. Like I don't go anywhere after I have the baby, so they didn't know. They just suspected. So and I don't know if any information was given next door or not. If it was, that was wrong. But the fact is, like this individual gets on the Ellen show just acting like she had nothing to do with the removal of the children. She didn't have malicious intent. She didn't play malicious roles and having the kids removed. And now she's running around asking for help, looking for rewards for something she does. You don't get to be rewarded for making malicious reports on someone and causing the breakup of their family and subjecting the kids to parental separation, which is child abuse. Like you should not be rewarded for that. And I think it's very deceptive of them to go on the Ellen show and hold themselves out to be some upstanding citizens and oh, we just boom, heard some kids needed help and we were there, when they know that's the furthest thing from the truth. And like I said, we have receipts, we have people who can testify to what we're saying about the role that they played. So this is not a, oh, I'm trying to make them look bad, or oh, I'm mad because they got some money. First of all, $50,000 is not even any money, not in today's society, how things are expensive, and by the time you pay bills and this that, you know like, that's nothing. Might believe it or not, some people aren't as materialistic as others, and I'm not. you know my thing is, don't drag my children on television embarrassing them like that, and they go to school where kids could potentially bully them because they're in an adoptive foster care situation where they're not with their mom and dad, but all the other kids are at school that they go to, that subjects them to bullying and some sort of alienation from, you know, their friends. Who knows what type of, repercussions that could have, you know? And because it's a national television show, anybody's subject to see it. So you can't say, well, there's no way their friends will find out. How is that? And it's a national television show. Like, no, you don't do stuff like that. You don't do stuff like that. And it definitely, that was another way of everyone could know that they don't care anything about those kids, because if they did, they wouldn't want to go on there, number one, acting like they need help and assistance when the state provides all their needs and then some for all of those kids that they have. Okay, so they're not in any need at all. And then number two, dragging the kids on there, embarrassing them. And both of them have knowledge that they played a part in giving the report and wanting the kids to be with them because they wanted to line their pockets financially. And, it's really sad that, it's had to come to, and I really don't appreciate being drug out here, having to drag my story on in the public for everyone to see, all because they don't know how to sit down somewhere and be quiet and respect others, because really, if they had a mind at their business, they wouldn't need any help from anyone. So, that's another thing, you know. And I just feel like, it's just the ultimate disrespect for the kids, being that they're not old enough to say, well, no, I really don't want anybody knowing that I'm in a foster care. And anybody watching this video, if you've ever been like in foster care or whatever, like, chime in. Let me know if I'm really overreacting as a mom. How did you feel if you were like young and you were in the system and you were like living with adoptive parents or whatever? Did you really want people to know that, or did you really want your friends to know that if you were like in junior high and high school? Or did you just say, no, that's my mom, because you just didn't want them to know that? Because the less people know, the better anyway. Like, that's not everybody's business that you had to be put in some situation where someone had to come in and get you, and then it makes the kids look like they got parents that are drug addicts and strung out on drugs and crazy, or some crazy stuff going on with them, where they don't have a decent home to go to, or they don't have a mom and dad that loves them. That's another thing that 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 hurts them and makes them look bad. Like, because they're little, they're going through those stages where they care about what their friends think and things of that sort. And I just think it's just a total disregard for just the entire situation, especially in light of the fact that they know that they play an intricate part in, breaking up the family and giving DHR really reports that they really didn't have any information. Like, if I wasn't talking with her, even if she heard through my mom that I was homeschooled, that she really still didn't have any right to repeat that, because she hasn't been around me. She didn't know what was going on. And then for her to say, well, I don't think they should go back until they get in school and this and that. You don't tell anybody what to do in their house. Nobody's telling you, you know, that you shouldn't be over there with Wayne, who throws his child on the bed because he's angry with you and she's only a couple of months old. That's child abuse. I knew about that, but you think I'm gonna say and then pick up the phone trying to give the HR? Like, I don't care what you're doing, Shawanda. Like, I don't care what you and Wayne are doing. And y'all need to learn to sit down somewhere and mind your own business. Because at the end of the day, you guys aren't perfect either. Obviously, you got your own domestic violence and child abuse stuff DHR had to help you remove just so you can start getting kids put in your home, which is against the law too. So, I mean, it is what it is. But don't run around here dragging my children on national television. Don't do it anymore. And because of what you did, I'm not gonna hold back from going on here as much as I can, you know. And like I said, Wayne, for you better be glad that I have a special love and affection for your mom. That I wouldn't sit here and drag your whole family and tell everybody, you know, your situation, how, you know, you know what it is. You know what it is. But you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. Cause see, I'm not like y'all. Me and Damien, we not like y'all. We actually have class, you know. So we're not gonna drag your family, you know. Even though y'all running on TV trying to drag our family, running all around the church too, trying to drag our family. And see, y'all know we don't go to church, but y'all also knows no way that people could know our side of the story. And I also know that y'all figure because the courts kind of been like silencing us and not paying us any attention and just doing us wrong or whatever. Y'all figured no one cared about our voice. Nobody cared about listening to our side of the story, or that we were just gonna crawl and we just have crawled in the corner somewhere and said, "Oh, we're just defeated." No, that is not what's going on over here. Just because we're quiet, we're over here quiet and we're working. That's what we're doing, and we're minding our business. But like now the cat is out the bag because y'all shouldn't have took the kids on national TV like that, embarrassing them and subjecting them to bullying and all type of other stuff that they could face going to school with their friends. Because how do you know? Y'all, neither one of y'all consider that the kids may not, want someone to know that they are adoptive in an adoptive situation. So because y'all don't have sense enough to respect the kids. Well, that's what me and Damien are here for. Those are our children, and we love them. So we're gonna stand up and fight for them, just like we've been fighting from day one. In course, and see, y'all should have informed Ellen that there's an ongoing legal battle for these children, and has been for day one from day one. Now, if y'all were in a situation where, look, we were somewhere on meth or crack or something, and we done left the kids and abandoned them and stuff like that, then yeah, I mean, you in the clear, you do something like that, really. But even then, still, you should still respect the child and say, okay, well, I'm not gonna do this right here because these kids are still kind of little, but they still go to school and stuff, and they got friends. And they may get picked on. They may not want somebody to even know that they're in this situation, like that. And that's why I said this about people who have been in foster care. If you've been in foster care before, or are in foster care right now, like you guys can speak from experience if you think that my position is, founded, on this, because as a mother, it doesn't sit right with me because I'm thinking of my child's feelings over there, my children's feelings, and I know my children. So, I just don't feel like, you know, that was the right move. And since it was so disrespectful to the children, there's no way that I could sit here and just like not say anything to try to defend them and keep that from happening repeatedly over and over again. And plus, the Ellen Show needs to know that, they really got scammed because that story didn't happen like that. That the woman is a scam and a fraudster. Her and her husband, they play an intricate part in giving DHR information to have our kids removed. The kids couldn't just be placed with them outright because they had their own domestic violence and child abuse records on the public record. So no one could even get placed with them for the first couple of months. Not, oh, they got a call, and woo woo, all of a sudden the kids are at their house. Like, no, that did not happen like that. And they know it didn't. So, we're just here to set the record straight. And like I said, for all the subscribers and stuff, like if y'all want to um, chime in this video, ask some questions, and elaborate on some things. Give me your feedback on my points of view because I'm open. I'm open to the negative stuff. We're open to the negative stuff and we're open to the positive stuff. So, because it doesn't make us any different. We're going to keep pushing and doing what we're doing anyway. So, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Just be respectful. Don't be nasty and things of that sort because you got other parents too who will watch our video or subscribe to the channel and are going to come here to learn and watch and try to get an understanding so they can help their own situation. So everybody just keep that in mind when you're interacting and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's it. You guys think we're an hour and 25 minutes in. It's like a little way longer than what I expected. But I think I pretty much went over everything that I feel like I wanted to expound on it. We weren't able to go into details about um, in the Tasha K video that I feel like would help people understand why she's being called a fraud, why she's being called a scammer, and for the reasons that I listed in this video here, like the things that I expounded on here is why, you know, they are not upstanding citizens that just stepped in to help some kids who were in a situation um, where they didn't have parents or anywhere to go because that actually came out of Wayne's mouth, Mr. Terry's mouth, that they didn't have anywhere else to go. And that, how does he figure that when they were down my dad's house the first 2 months? I think it may even been longer than that. I have to pull the paperwork on it. They couldn't even come to his house, like I said, because they had their own domestic violence and child abuse report on the public record with the police that Shawanda made on him because they had a domestic dispute and Wayne threw the baby on the bed. So how is it that the kids didn't have anywhere else to go, but they couldn't even get placed with you when it first happened because of your own situation? So don't get on national television and tell lies and deceive people just so you guys can get money off of a situation because that's all you guys wanted to do from the beginning. And this is why Shawanda, you've sat and did the things that you've done, and why Wayne, you sat over there quiet, trying to keep your hands clean and not say nothing while you watched her do all the dirt. Because you know what, you didn't care either. Because long as both of you guys seen those checks coming, you know, it was all good for y'all, you know. And I heard through the grapevine from a social worker that they all know, they talk among themselves that, hey, people that get into, the adoption stuff, it's a come up for them. It's a come up. Yeah, y'all were living in a little 3-bedroom house around the street. Like, now I heard y'all in a 5-bedroom house with a big old van over there, all type of stuff, living good, living way better than what you were when my situation went down. And it ain't cause y'all been working hard. Y'all was in a 3-bedroom, we're in a 4. So that time my house bigger than yours. But you think you can do a better job. You think they should be with you. You don't think we should be homeschooled. Who are you? Who are you, Shawanda? You don't tell nobody what to do with their children. You mind your own business. My children didn't have issues when they were born. None of them. All of them born healthy and strong. Because I have a healthy vegan and vegetarian diet and herbal remedies that I stick to make sure my kids are on point and stay on point. Something you don't do. From what I heard, to have other people tell it. But that's your business. Because I care less what you're doing. Hence why you don't see me over in your business, having nothing to say about what you're doing, how you're doing it, and who you're doing it with. Because I don't care about what you're doing, your business, or you. And I would appreciate when my kids come back here that you keep your distance and stay away from me. Because, you know, what you've done is You're not gonna be able to come back from this. You and all the other people around you that have pushed you up in the family and encouraged you to be the way that you are and have failed to correct you in your wrong and how and what you were doing to our family with DHR. And you know who I'm talking about. And they know who I'm talking about. I don't have to call no names. They know. But that's fine. Because if you support somebody in some dirty stuff that you did with this situation here, like that shows a lot about them, how dirty they are, how unethical they are. So that's all it does, you know. But what we're not gonna do is be dragging my children all around different networks like you done lost your God given mind, embarrassing not only the children but also our parents, as if you know we got parents around here that, oh, I'm so bad off I couldn't get my mom and dad to help me out without having DHR step in. Or, oh, you got my kids, but you so bad off you don't have your mom and dad living that'll help you. Like, you done got more loans from our dad than I have any day because you just a leech like that. You've never wanted to really be financially independent. You've always found a way to leech off of people. And so when you've gotten to the point, you're getting too old to be leeching off our parents. So you figure when you get into this adoption shit and you'll leech off other people's kids and families and misfortunes to fund your own materialistic lifestyle because you got self-esteem problems. You gotta get yourself together. Because I done told you more than one time, leave me alone. Because you don't want this smoke over here. You don't want this smoke. And Wayne, if you don't have no sense, you better grow you some sense. Because like I said, I'm being real nice not to get on here and just drag you. But see, your mama still living. Your mama here, I love your mama. And your mama love me. So I'm gonna be loyal and not do that to her. When Shawana running around acting stupid. Like, we're not gonna do that. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off of this live. If y'all have, please donate. We're trying to get this money up, get these attorneys so we can get our kids from these crazy people, and we can go on with our life before we was rudely interrupted. Um, every donation will be greatly appreciated. So that we can do what we got to do and move this along faster. We've been doing it by ourselves, you know, courts, whatever. I guess they don't like pro se litigants, so we've got to do something, and whatever help that you guys can give, greatly appreciated. We appreciate all the prayers and love and support once again that's been given. And yeah, we just want to let everybody know this is our channel. We're here if you have questions, if you want to reach out, um, tell your story. Like my husband said, we're going to try to have some people on here, other people, other families that have, dealt with situations so they can share their stories with you. So, this is going to be an interactive channel. But, we just, y'all remember, we're still in a legal battle and we've got work to do every day towards our case and getting our kids back. So it's definitely been good. And I hope that anything that I've shared has helped clear up any confusion that may have been lingering after the Tasha K interview that, we didn't get to clear up. And if we didn't, like I said, feel free, subscribe, email us or reach out, and, we'll make a quick video to clear some things up to help everybody get to the understanding, because we don't want anyone confused about this. Confusion breeds bad situations, because you don't want to be confused about, well, how does this stuff go? Like, because it can happen to anyone. This can happen to anyone. Okay. Everybody has a family member that has like that doesn't like them or they don't get along with them. And who knows, you might make that person mad enough and they pick up the phone and do something like that. And your CPS employees and your sheriffs locally there are all incompetent or just corrupt, you know, and you could boom find yourself in a situation you never imagined. So you can't just be comfortable and sit back and say, "Oh well, it's not going to happen to me," or "It's not happening to me. I don't care." Like, well, I mean, you could do that, but that may not be in your best interest. So definitely try to be interactive here and reach out and give suggestions and your comments and stuff. We're open to it. But like we said, y'all just be respectful and try to remember, that this is a channel that's dedicated to the reunification of our family so that we can get our kids back and resume our lives, because this is very tasking, very daunting situation. It weighs on your heart, it weighs on your spirit, and it can be a lot. But with the continued outpouring of love and support that we've received. We want to also thank Tasha K for just allowing us to come on there and have a voice and tell our side of the story. We really appreciate that because that was very important for us because you know you don't the kids in the situation, like I said, they don't have a voice. We have to be the voice for them when they're dragged on TV like that and embarrassed, and they go to school every day with friends, and because like I said, I'm gonna keep reiterating that's what that is for me. You're like, don't do that because you already know you played a part in breaking up the family, but you're gonna go drag them on national TV and act like, oh, you had to step in and whoop, whoop. Like, she knows that was not it. These kids have parents who love them. They're over there illegally. She knows that, and she also knows that it's been an ongoing legal battle for them since it happened. So she's very well aware of that. But once again, if you guys want to reach out and you know, get more information on, how things might work in your state, we can help send you some things, point you in the right direction, and hopefully get you on a track to, possibly get your kids back to, because if everybody works together, things, move faster and they move better when everybody's on one accord. So, channels like this one and other ones that are out there, that's what the purpose will be, is to, help reunify families because, that's important, for you to be with if God gave you your children, they're your children. They belong with you, not with other people. Even if you're out there and you have a drug habit and things are going on, you know, um, where you're going through some emotional things and maybe you're drinking and you're whatever. I mean, that still doesn't, make you a horrible person. You just need to clean your life up enough to be that best parent that your child deserves for you to be, and you deserve to be the best that you can be because you deserve it and owe it to yourself. So, if that helps anyone who may be struggling with a situation where they're got the drugs and stuff going on, and the kids had to kind of go with a family member to kind of help you get yourself together, be encouraged. Like, even your situation can turn around for you, but you've got to make those right decisions, and those sacrifices that you need to make to for your child, because like I said, God gave your children to you. They belong with you, not anyone else. So again, you guys, click the subscribe button below. We've got our Cash App down there, our GoFundMe, Instagram and Twitter. Follow, and like I said, reach out if you guys have any more questions. And again, we appreciate all the outpouring of love and support